We appreciate you watching and listening to the Dead Jeff Show. Please like and subscribe and tune in for more videos.
Yep.
So we'll see still to come with what happens with McDermott. Now the other AFC game, boy, again it was a turnover fest, sloppy ball. CJ Stroud's been struggling the last playoff game
Mm-hmm.
against the Steelers, and in this game he struggled mightily. Pulled it together for a little bit, and then it was like a mash unit out there. No, not really trying to make excuses for him, but his top two targets were down. His two offensive linemen were down. It was all on the defense and CJ Stroud to win that game, and they just couldn't get it done. And keep in mind that the Texans have a great defense. The Patriots defense they're opportunistic. They play well enough to win, but 4 turnovers for the Texans, I believe, and that game got close there for a little bit. It was like 21-16.
Mm-hmm.
So for all that being said, it was ugly. The weather played a factor, but CJ Stroud just was off big time today.
Yeah, I just don't. I think the problem for me with CJ we posted something during the game of just like, does Davis Mills maybe give you a better chance? And just because Davis Mills, when he has played, his completion percentage has been higher. He's been a little bit more safe with the ball. Now, maybe to your point, guys aren't getting open and you don't have the luxury of being safe. You're going to have to throw some tight window throws and you don't have the little checkdowns there. It's obviously certainly New England knew what they were taking away. Um, but CJ just didn't seem right. Never really kind of looked like he got a footing really in the playoffs, right? Like if you even look at the win last week, 65% completion percentage. A lot of kind of felt like Dinkin and Duncan, just taking what the defense would give them, which is fine. But if you comp that against some of the other quarterbacks that were really trying to push the ball downfield, just felt like he wasn't right. And I think Aikman made a comment during the game. Like, I would not be surprised if in the next few days we find out that CJ Stroud is dealing with some sort of injury in his hand or somewhere. Like, that was something that I
It could
think
be.
Troy was just speculating on, but that would make some level of sense because he never looked right. But against a very, very, very good defense. So, you know,
I
it's a
mean,
little bit of a tough
they
break.
are, but the funny thing about the Patriots defense, they're not ranked high, as we think they should be, but or we might think they are, but they get the win 28-16, and I think for me, my concern would be more about what you said before is CJ's one of the reasons they got there. I mean, if you look at the
Yep.
run they went on to finish the season, it was a big run, and he
Hmm.
played really well down the stretch, and where he got off to a really sluggish start this season. But then in the playoffs, you're going to play good defenses. The Steelers have a good defense, right? Patriots have a good
Yep.
defense, and if you look all around the playoffs, completion percentage was way down compared to what these quarterbacks had done for the year. It was down because weather and the defense is better, right? And
Yep.
so I think he's still young. This is his third year. They got a good coach there,
Hmm.
and I like what the Texans are building. They just needed Nico Collins to play. Schultz went out early with a calf injury. They had nobody to catch the ball, and then their backup tight end went out injured.
Yep. Stover.
So it's a mash unit. Now let's talk about the Patriots, right? They really didn't run the ball well today. Drake May made the right plays when he needed to.
Hmm.
Um, and so he made enough plays to win, but he fumbled like 3 times today too. So it was just a turnover laden battle.
Four.
Four, but they only lost 3 of them,
They
right, or
lost
2 of
two.
them?
They
Yeah.
lost two.
So good is on them that they didn't lose them all, but that ball was, and then Marks had a fumble that was
Hmm.
crucial, right?
Yep.
So lots of turnovers in the AFC. That's either the defense is really good or the offense was really bad, and maybe
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Probably both. Probably both. But I will say the thing about and maybe not even necessarily just Drake May, but I think the thing about the way that Vrabel was calling the game, maybe compared to D'Amico, especially early on, was like Vrabel was just saying, "You're gonna have to beat me. You're gonna have to beat this defense." And to your point, right? Like the defense it's one of those bend but don't break situations. I feel like they just
Yeah,
got so good toward the end of the season because if you look at the rankings throughout the year, like sure they're not an elite top 3 at least on the numbers.
yeah,
Um, but if you spend any time watching this team, which I was fortunate to get to watch quite a few Patriots games, that it's a tough defense, man, and it very much has
yeah.
kind of the Vrabel feel to them. So hard hitting team. So I think that's the difference is the way that the game was almost coached. Also, um, in a microcosm of all of that is there's 4 minutes left, 5 minutes left. You've got one timeout, and D'Amico Ryans punts the ball. Like it's just those things where it's like Vrabel is saying, "You're going to have to beat me. I'm not going to give you any help whatsoever."
Right.
And it worked very well. It's a great atmosphere for a young quarterback and quite frankly, really a young team on the offensive side of the ball to have a little bit of freedom, to not feel so tight because coach isn't putting me in harm's way here.
Yeah, just if the Texans could run the ball, that would have been a different story. And Woody Marks has been good. He had a banged up shoulder, but in the first half they had less than 1 yard per carry, I think,
Yeah.
or barely
14
a
for se
yard.
14 for
What's it?
17.
Yeah, so that ain't gonna get it done. Now they did a little better in that first drive in the second half, but
Yeah.
not enough to give CJ some support. So, but I think the Texans will be back. I'm not concerned that the sky is falling there. The Patriots were just better today,
Yep.
or that day, whatever. What's today? Yeah, I guess today.
It's
And
today. Yeah.
so they got the W, and not a surprise to me because I had the Patriots going to the Super Bowl, and now we have Patriots versus Broncos, and we've already talked a little bit about this. Luke, are you sticking with the Broncos with the backup quarterback? What do you say?
I don't know, man. Um, I think I just need to be smart and take the Patriots. Um, Even though I would love if the Broncos won with their backup quarterback. I think that would be really cool. Uh, kind of like a fairy tale, but you know, you see my jersey, so at the end of the day, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I think unfortunately I agree. I think I picked the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl real early. I don't like the fact that they're going to go. I'm not a Patriots fan, although they're easier to like without Belichick and Brady, honestly, because I like Vrabel. But Robert Kraft, he just doesn't set well with me. I'm sure he's a nice man, but he just, I just don't like the Patriots. But I do like Drake May. I do like Mike Vrabel. So I'm kind of at a conundrum here. I'm sticking with the Patriots to win. I think they have a better chance of winning now with Stidham in there versus Knicks. But I don't think the Broncos are down and out. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion because Drake May is young and it is on the road, and you don't know what to make of that. Here's what it comes down to on both sides, and it always does in these playoff games: who can run the ball and who can get pressure on the quarterback. It's the same talking points. I know we had a comment on one of the videos. Hey, it's the same talking points because it's the truth. Whoever can pressure the quarterback and run the ball usually wins in the playoffs. I mean, check history. Now, there's been teams that go against that to get that done. But as we talk about the NFC in a little bit, the Rams had a great drive because they started running the ball. And I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I'll stick with the Patriots to go to the Super Bowl, and that they'll be representing the AFC in my bracket.
Yeah, I think obviously I had the Bills beating the Broncos, I had the Patriots beating the Texans. Um, I'm gonna go with the Patriots here. I just don't think that ultimately I just don't think Jared Stidham's enough to get over the defense. I agree with Luke though. I think the fairy tale component, the kind of you know the storyline, the soap opera of it would be really really cool. Um, and we've talked about many times. I'm a fan of chaos, and that would be very chaotic. And I'm sure the league would love a Jared Stidham Super Bowl for the ratings. But
Could be a
yeah,
Disney
I
movie.
just
It could be the next Disney movie.
for sure, for sure. I love what's the Kurt Warner movie was great. So maybe we get another one of those.
Oh
American
yeah,
Underdog. That was a great
yeah.
one. Um, but yeah, no, I got the Patriots, and honestly, I just don't think that ultimately Jared Stidham will have enough. But good defense, and they're at home, so anything can happen.